Assalamualaikum, my name is Umi Khalida binti Abu Bakar. I want to explain about symbiosis of soil and plant, or more specifically about mycorrhizae. What is symbiosis? Symbiosis is a biological interaction between two different biological organisms that are typically will give a benefit to both of the organisms. For example, anemone will give shelter and protection to clownfish. In return, clownfish will give anemone nutrients in the form of waste. But right now, we're not going to talk about symbiosis of anemone and clownfish. We're going to talk about symbiosis of soil and plant, or more specifically about mycorrhizae. What is mycorrhizae? Mycorrhizae is a symbiotic relationship between mycorrhizal fungus and plant root. The plant root make organic molecules such as sugar by photosynthesis to the mycorrhizal fungus, and mycorrhizal fungus will supply mineral nutrients such as phosphorus taken from soil. These specialized fungus colonize plant roots and extend far into the soil, beyond the nutrient depletion zone that plant cannot access alone. This helps for the nutrient and water absorption. It's a two-way relationship of sharing resources between two species, thus a classic symbiotic mutualism. The endomycorrhizal fungi rely on plant, and plants' performance and survival enhanced by the fungus.
Mycorrhizal symbiotic mutualism. How is this symbiosis established? From these two pictures, we can see a plant's root and fungi. Fungi is made up by hyphae that very small and can go to the small area. Mycorrhizal will connect to the plant roots and grow into a branching root-like structure called hyphae. The hyphae function is an extension of the plant's root system. Hyphae can absorb nutrient and water along their entire length, while plant roots can only absorb from their root tips. Mycorrhizae multiply by propagules, which are spores and root fragments containing hyphae and other fungal structure. They can be applied to the soil by drench, soil incorporation, seed treatment, soil injection, and many methods that can put the propagules in contact with growing roots. Plant roots diffuse exudate into soil and trigger a germination response from mycorrhizal propagules. These begin to develop into hyphae that penetrate plant roots, establish nutrient and water transfer mechanism. As nutrients are depleted around the plant, hyphae continue to grow into the surrounding soil. They absorb and deliver micronutrients, macronutrients, and water to the plant. In return, the mycorrhizae receive carbon in the form of lipid and sugar from the plant produced by photosynthesis. For a better understanding, let's watch a short video.
Function as an extension of the plant's root system. As nutrients are depleted around the plant, hyphae continue to grow into the surrounding soil. They absorb and deliver micronutrients, macronutrients, and water to the plant that are otherwise inaccessible by the plant's roots alone. In return, the mycorrhizae receive carbon in the form of sugars and lipids from the plant produced by photosynthesis.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Hafizur Ridwan. Now, let's talk about types of mycorrhizal fungi. There are more than 95% of plant families form symbiotic relationships with mycorrhizal fungi. 85% with endomycorrhizal fungi and 10% with ectomycorrhizal fungi. So, what are endomycorrhizal fungi and ectomycorrhizal fungi? Endomycorrhizal fungi is a mycorrhizal fungi which the hyphae penetrate the cell wall and invaginate the cell membrane, while ectomycorrhizal fungi is a mycorrhizal fungi which the hyphae do not penetrate the cell of the plant root. Even though different types, these two types of mycorrhizal fungi can form nutrient exchange. Endomycorrhizal fungi form exchange mechanisms on the inside of the root cells, but ectomycorrhizal fungi form exchange mechanisms on the outside of the root cell. There are many endomycorrhizal fungi and ectomycorrhizal fungi. These are the examples of endomycorrhizal fungi and ectomycorrhizal fungi.
Hi, my name is Nurjanatul Akila binti Roslan and you can call me Akila as usual. Mycorrhizae. So, what do you understand about mycorrhizae? Mycorrhizae is the term that used to describe the symbiotic relationship between mycorrhizal fungi and a plant's root system. Now, I will explain about the function of mycorrhizae. First mycorrhizae function is mycorrhizae can expand the nutrient absorption surface of the plant. The roots of the plant are very important organ for plant to absorb water and also nutrients. However, due to the various external factors, the growth of the roots plants are very limited to a certain extent, such as hard soil texture, drought, and water shortage. This thing will affect to a certain extent absorption of water and also nutrients. The epiphytized hyphae are hyphae that grow far beyond the roots of the plant. Even in some place where the roots of the plant cannot be reached, don't worry. They will be traced by the epithelial hyphae, which is more greatly can increase the absorption surface and absorption range of the roots of the plant. Plus, it also can help the plants absorb more water and more nutrients. In the conclusion, to make it easier to understand, the hyphae or fungal roots can grow faster than and longer than the plant's root can grow. The surface area of the plant's root is expanded, allowing for increase to nutrient, water, and also the oxygen to the plant. This result can give many benefits to the plant, including increased vigor, drought resistant, and fruiting or flowering. Second function of mycorrhizae. Mycorrhizae can increase the absorption of phosphorus by plant. Phosphorus is the least easily decomposed and flowing element. Therefore, during the growth of the plant, the available phosphorus that have around the roots plant is quickly absorbed by the plant. And the peripheral phosphorus is difficult to replenish rapidly, in resulting in a small range of phosphorus depleted areas around the roots of the plant. This can be more easily to produce phosphorus deficiency. However, once the plant has the mycorrhizae, a large number of epithelial hyphae can cross the phosphorus poor zone and absorb all the phosphorus, nutrients, and water from farther places.
Biofertilizer is a substance that contains microorganisms which help to promote growth to plant and tree by supplying essential nutrients to the plant. They also convert phosphate into the form that required by the plant. Biofertilizer utilize certain microorganisms which convert nitrogen into nitrate and nitrite. Mycorrhizal fungi is one of the living organisms inside the biofertilizer. Lastly, let's talk about the benefit of mycorrhizal fungi as a biofertilizer. First, it will improve soil volume, which means it will increase soil volume. Next, it was a cheap nutrient source as it was a fungi that lived inside the soil. And next, secretion of growth hormone, which mycorrhiza fungi in the biofertilizer can secrete cytokinin which promote growth of the plant. And lastly, it enhances drought tolerance. Biofertilizer have many importance. The first importance is it will improve soil texture and increase yield of the plant. Next, biofertilizer not allowing pathogen to flourish into the plant. Lastly, biofertilizer can help to protect environment from pollutant as it was a natural. The next function of mycorrhizal fungi is aiding in restoration. When we talk about aiding in restoration, we will talk about the ecological restoration. Ecological restoration can reduce or eliminate the cause of degradation. Let's talk about the mycorrhizal fungi as aiding in restoration. So, mycorrhizal fungi allow certain plants to be a greater competitor between other plants, which help the plant to grow in an area with low concentration of water and nutrient inside the soil. When they can grow in that area, so there will be a great capacity to outcompete other than plants that cannot compete with them.
Well, hello there! Introducing myself, my name is Nosha Jumeti Amran, AA101115. Up until now, you have been exposed to the symbiosis of mycorrhizae, and now I am doing my part to make you learn about the factors affecting the mycorrhizae. Sometimes, everything has its own reason to be exist, and that reason can affect or can be affected by others. In this case, environmental factors and soil conditions influence the occurrence of mycorrhizal associations in ecosystems, but it is hard to examine the direct impact of these factors on mycorrhizal fungi because they rarely occur in nature without a host of plants. So, let's start with our first factors, which is solid acidity. The inoculation with glomus species increases phosphorus uptake and plant growth when the soil pH reaches 7 or higher. The relation between mycorrhizae and pH depends on soil type, plant species, and fungal species. Mycorrhizal fungi vary in their own soil pH tolerance. Some grow in low pH and others grow after adding amount of plant for soil pH modifications. Next, soil salinity. Soil salinity is the amount of dissolved salts that are present in water and soil. Mycorrhizae have been known to occur naturally in saline environment. Salinity not only affects the host but also the mycorrhizae. It can hamper or delay the colonization percentage, growth of hyphae, and spore germination of fungus. Colonization of plant roots by some mycorrhizae is reduced in the presence of sodium chloride, which is salt. Last but not least is temperature. Temperature also plays a vital role in availability of water and nutrients, as the hotter climates will have an easier time absorbing nutrients but are also threatened by denaturation of proteins. If the soil is dried by excessive heat, the hyphae of the mycorrhizae as well as the plant root hairs will have far more difficulty obtaining both water and nutrients to sustain their interactions. So, in a nutshell, symbiosis of mycorrhizae is absolutely important to be sustained because of their role towards the productive environment. Essentially, if the host plant experiences environmental stress, it will also affect the mycorrhizae, which could have negative consequences. Thus, humans should have humanity to the environment by reducing the use of chemical gases like carbon dioxide, because if climate change happens, it will affect both human health and ecosystem in a bad ways. So that's all from us. I just want to say congratulations to you for getting yourself a new knowledge today, and thank you for staying with us until the end. See you soon. Bye.